Welcome back to Jadonna Live, a podcast where, our mantra here is come as you are, live like you're trying. Feel free to be your authentic self and just show up. But also, I encourage everyone here to live with some intention. We got one life, so let's do that. Thanks for being here. If you've never been here before, you are so welcome. Lots of podcasts in the queue, so feel free to go back and view some of the older ones just to get a hang of what this is. I love topics pertaining to self-love, community, and environmental sustainability, so that's where I like to focus with some bits of pop culture here and there. You'll find the pod more pop culture heavy, more so in 2024 and before. And kind of toward the spring of last year is really when I started focusing on those three pillars. So yeah, that's a little context. If you've been listening for a while, please feel free to rate the podcast 5 stars on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. I super appreciate that. And happy to be here today. Happy to be here. It has been sunny in Indianapolis the past few days, so that has felt really nice. I am sitting on a donut currently because I'm still recovering, so I have not been able to be out and about, which it was fine at first, but now it's a bit of a bummer. So still figuring all that out, but hashtag blessed, baby's good, hashtag blessed. Watching lots of basketball. I was going to say to pass the time, but I hate that phrase because I don't Oh, there's a squirrel. That looked like a cat. Oh, well. I don't live my life to pass the time. I really try to challenge that mindset every time that thought comes to me. I do nothing to pass the time. I can find enjoyment in everything that I do, or at least contentment. Whew. So, that is the vibe. Lots of basketball. I did a bracket with my fam. We've got Michigan winning. Doug go blue. Parents went there, so. And yeah, had a great Michigan game today. So I did some seedling preparation last week with my kiddo. I need to water those because they are downstairs in the sunlight. I am upstairs. Our house has no downstairs bathroom, which in hindsight was the dumbest thing I ever did. We were kind of like in a rush to get a house and move here and blah, blah, blah. And we were like, oh, it's fine. That doesn't matter. It does when you potty train. And it does when you give birth. So, two big things I ended up doing. La la la. Oh, see that close, see that close, see that close. I also want to just pat myself on the back. Would do if I could let go of my mic right now. Decided to switch up my setup to record in my bedroom, but the baby's in there sleeping, so I had to move in here. Anyway, I am on like a 94-day Duolingo streak for my French practice, so go self. I also have Babbel though, and Babbel's where like Duolingo isn't hard for me for the most part. I like fly through it. But I also should be fluent in French. So I don't feel like patting myself on the back for flying through Duolingo when I've been studying a language since I was in 7th grade and I'm still not at least like incredibly highly proficient. So it's embarrassing. But Babbel is where I'm supposed to be practicing my listening and my speaking, which is what I'm trying to get better at because I got it for Christmas, an annual subscription, and I still haven't used it. It's only March. I'll start in Q2. Duh. So yeah, lots on the mind. There's nothing like spring to get me vamped. Like, especially when I've been pregnant since last May, and like, it's just, I'm ready. And you'll hear a little bit more about that in my conversation with Bailey, which is coming up. Bailey will speak to this, but her upcoming events will all be linked in the notes section of the podcast. And there is a No Kings protest that is happening on the 28th And I will be linking that as well. If you're unfamiliar, No Kings, I don't know who started it, but I follow the Working Families Party. Like, I'm on their listserv, and they send out emails about like certain representatives to follow who are all about like working class folks and equity and racial diversity and not having a king in the United States. So they advertised a No Kings Day protest that's happening on the 28th. So if you are willing, able, interested, you can click on that to see where protests will be in your area to attend. So I will make sure that's there. And outside of that, ooh, I just got a whiff of the smell of cauliflower. Husband is making some dank chicken thighs and some cauliflower. We are so bad at spending money on going out to eat when we just don't need to, and we are in so much debt right now, credit card wise, from like moving and just big life transitions from the past couple of years. So we don't need to be going out, but also trying to lose some lbs from birth, trying to just be healthier in general, and trying to go out less. And we looked at our account, and the last time we went out was March 6th. And we are so proud of ourselves. And that was just for like a coffee and a muffin. So hold me accountable. Reach out at jadonnalive@gmail.com. No one has ever emailed me there. I'm pissed. One person has. So send me an email, people. Let's chat. Anyway, longest intro of all time. Get excited for the episode with Bailey, and we'll keep the outro short. So, actually, let's move on over to the affirmation segment because we do have one of those, which we haven't had in a long time. See you there. Now it is time for affirmations. In the affirmation segment, so go ahead and put your feet flat on the ground. Go ahead and roll your shoulders back a bit. Mine have always been up to my ears, so trying to relax a little bit more. But yeah, today we are going to focus on the flow of our energy and where we're sending it and how to make sure it works in our favor. So, my energy goes toward what is best for me. My energy goes toward what is best for me. I spend my time on life-giving activities. I spend my time on life-giving activities. My purpose is found in my peace. My purpose is found in my peace. I seek quiet. I seek quiet. I release any tension I'm currently holding in my body. I release any tension I'm currently holding in my body. And I relent to where the natural flow of my life is taking me. I relent to where the natural flow of my life is taking me. And I guide this flow with intention. And I guide this flow with intention, but with an open hand. But with an open hand. All right, yay. Haven't done an affirmation segment in a while, so, let's move on. All right, so we've got Bailey, our fave recurring guest, don't tell the others, back, and I have Bailey on. But before I get into that, I'm sorry, I feel like I haven't done a podcast in 2 weeks, which is my cadence. But before that, I just did a solo one and then I gave birth. And so we are slowly collecting ourselves. As I mentioned, Bailey, my bestie from college, I have on every equinox and every solstice. We can just talk about kind of how we're feeling, what the vibes are, what we're into, how we're transitioning, etc. And today we are doing that exact thing. Bailey is a licensed mental health counselor, and so she will speak a little bit to how that impacts her transition to the season. But outside of that, today, really just kind of prompting us with a handful of life update questions and just poignant things I feel like I'm learning in the given moment, given a massive transition I've had lately and some transitions Bailey's going through as well. So yeah, Bailey, how are you? How are you doing? How are you arriving to the space? Wait, flash the tat.
Oh. There it is. Yeah,
Hey.
all the way up. Yeah. Love springtime means my arms show. Revealing the tats, yeah. Honestly, though, this is like Mother Mary and Kali and the lotus flower and the kundalini, so there's a lot of like spring connections of like birthing and life and death and the seasons. So happy to represent that today. But I love the
Love it.
question how you're arriving. And I'm arriving feeling a little bit nervous, just a lot of reasons, but also mostly feeling grounded. And maybe the overall word is ready.
Ooh,
Ready. I can elaborate.
you're on a podcast. We
Ready.
welcome elaboration.
Yes. That's what those are for. I'm ready for spring, for warmer weather. I'm ready for things to finally shift. I was just on a call earlier and they had us kind of pick a word at the beginning and the end. And my beginning word was actively shifting. I feel like I've been in a season, which is spring, right? Like there's this active shift, which there can be a lot of turbulence and some bumpiness. And so I'm ready for it to be fully the next thing and to kind of be out of the turbulent air, if you will, or the transition. But also accepting that that's part of spring, that's part of growth is some of these bumps. But I'm feeling ready.
I love that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Ready.
Yeah. How are you arriving?
Well, took some notes. It's my first day out of my room in the upstairs for like a couple days. Today marks the 1 month anniversary. Sometimes I cross my other accent. My 1 month giving birth anniversary. So that's fun and interesting. I've noticed my kids starting to notice that she's existing. It's like, for a while they just look like aliens and are just like, meh. But she's like looking around more and I think started smiling. It may be too early for that though. So I'm not fully convinced that it's because she likes us. It may just be because, I was eating too much dairy, but I'm in a good like breastfeeding groove, which is nice. Last night she slept for 6 hours.
Oh my gosh.
And even though my midwife told me not to let her sleep more than 4, I still let her sleep as long as she
Yeah.
needs. And I will never wake her up, especially if it's giving me more time. I forget why. I was like, I don't remember, but I was like, she good. She's like
She'll wake up if
chubby.
she's hungry, if she's eating, she'll
She will wail if she's hungry. So,
Oh wow, 6 hours is gold in the first month. So
yeah, I'm still exhausted,
yeah.
but that was nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm still healing, so I still
Mhm.
can't walk super well. I rediscovered my donut the other day because my
Oh yeah.
vaginal area was still pretty sore, and I was like, why? And I start wearing my donut, and I was like, oh, because I sit all day and I'm putting pressure on it, and if I just use my donut more, I'll probably heal faster. So, here we are.
Yeah.
Which you'd think I'd remember, but
Mhm.
I'm still doing weird for normal people, but normal for midwifery things like drinking chlorophyll to soften my bowels so I can poop without pain. Um,
Yeah.
life. Taking my herbal baths, and I was omitting Tylenol because my midwives told me to not take Tylenol, but like, I don't know, with my first kid, I did Tylenol and ibuprofen, so I'm back on Tylenol. I'm like, my first kid's fine,
Yeah.
So
It's a safe pain reliever.
I'm like, whatever. I got a chiropractor adjustment, but then my midwives were telling me for my baby to get one, and I was like, babies go to the chiropractor, bro?
Mhm.
So we scheduled one. I might cancel it because, like, I can't afford baby chiropractor appointments. Like, what am I doing? I just say when I'm met with, like, their intensity face to face, I'm like, yeah, okay. And then I leave and I'm like, I don't, like, I'm a bold in whatever person, but there are random scenarios where I'm like, oh, okay, where I don't say no. It doesn't really make sense. And I can't tell you why. It's only in certain scenarios, but I don't know. It's a problem. I just can't, I don't understand. So anyway, that's where I'm at. I actually took the time to think about it. So that's where I'm at today. My husband and I are job searching, and usually it's like me running miles around everything and just being like frantic. But this time I created a document that I took notes on and found different sources for how people think about their next steps and where they're going and blah, blah, blah. And he agreed to do it with me. So we're doing it together, which is really nice. So mine is 6 pages, his is 4 pages. And we've just been like going through the questions, answering. And so we're 2 pages in. It's been really helpful. I've applied to a job since, he's applied to a job since.
Awesome.
And I'm trying not to be hasty because I would love to like get it done in a day. But he's like, you said there was no rush. And I'm like, I said there was no but yeah. So it's kind of nice to have the baby. It forces me to mean what I say and not actually rush through. So and I know your job, you're going through a lot of expansion. I'm not sure how much you care to share or not share, but would love to kind of hear that if you're whatever you're willing to share.
Yeah, absolutely. Next week, when does this come out?
23rd.
23. Okay, perfect. On that day, I am announcing anyway, today, while you're listening, live this morning.
Live from Jadonna. Live.
You heard it here first, folks. I'm just kidding. But for real.
Kidding, but not kidding.
Because this will come out before my post. Anyway, I'm announcing to the world that I have taken on some new folks under Mind Body Nature Counseling. So that's been like,
she got staff now.
Yeah, it's exciting. I still feel like I don't know what I'm doing. I feel no, but it's okay. I'm figuring it out, and then that builds confidence, and I feel capable. I'm like, oh, like I don't know what I'm doing, but then I figure it out, and so now I do know what I'm doing. That's sort of the process, I guess, in figuring things out. But yeah, I'm going to be taking on a student intern and an associate, an LMHCA, so an associate licensed mental health counselor. That's like before you're fully licensed, you have to work under supervision of a fully licensed therapist to get all your hours. And so a student intern, she's still in her graduate program. And then the next step would be the residency or the LMHCA, which is I'll have one of each, and then me. So it's going to be a beautiful, like at various points in the journey to being a licensed therapist, and will hopefully help me. Like, 1, I'll have coworkers, which will be so fun. 2, I'll get to like talk about and guide and mentor therapists wanting to lean more into a nature-based approach and kind of an interdimensional approach to mental health counseling. And 3, there was a third point. Cannot remember. Oh, it'll help with the beginner's mind, sort of having we're, along the journey at different points. And so someone just starting, someone who's beginning her career, and then me who's still very new, but like beginning to grow in this next step of my career, kind of all together. And then we also hired, as in I did, I also hired a administrative and outreach coordinator who will be working.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. 5 hours a week. And is going to be helping me with admin odds and ends, like some social media and some building a networking resource system. Very excited. So
Oh my word.
It'll be the 4 of us, yeah, and more to come on that, but that's been a work in progress, a seed I've planted, and then it, like, kind of sprouted earlier than I thought anyway, if we use the springtime seed planting analogy. It was like one of those pioneer plants where they show up the moment it's warm, and I felt like this just kind of, like, popped its
Mm.
head up, and I was like, "Cool, we're gonna nurture this and go with this," and it's been really fun. A bit stressful, but, like, worth it, and I'm very excited.
Love that for you.
They start in May.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
And my question was, in hindsight,
Mhm.
was this, did you plant this seed already and maybe forget about it? Like, did you ever, like, in a notebook or like on a vision board or in your own mind, say, like, this is what I want
Yeah.
before you recently even thought it could happen? Like, when did you think first on this?
Yeah. This first came to me, so I was on maternity leave, and a lot of, like, ideas and inspiration came.
Yep.
Ran with it, did it, duh, 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 and then I went back to work, and seeing clients weekly makes very little room to do anything else creatively or, entrepreneurially. So then I've slowly been sitting with it, but then I was like, I need to get organized. So around the turn of the year, I met with one woman who, like, really helped kind of reframe the way I'm thinking about building a practice, building a business, which was very helpful. But then I also started meeting with who I call my business mentor, Krista Ripma with Authentic Audience. Check her out. um,
Very helpful lady.
yeah. So I meet with her quarterly for a business mentorship. And in the preparation for that first call in January, I, like, laid it all out. I had, like, 10 documents, like, casting vision, plopping every and all idea. How do I want my days to feel vibe-wise to logistics of what type of work do I wanna be doing? What do I see myself doing in a year, 5, 10? And one of the pillars, I got really clear about these 3 pillars of my business with this, like, foundation of one-on-one work, and then aside from that, there were these 3 pillars. The 3rd and what I thought was far distant pillar, like, way down the road I would get to this, was, like, um, training, education, consultation, like being a guide, being a mentor, having, like, a nature-based, residency for LMHCA, or associate
Mm.
level clinicians. But funny enough, that was the very first one, like, it popped into my world. I was trying to push these other 2 pillars,
And
and
it
then
came to you.
this one came to me. Like, literally 2 people emailed me at the same week,
Crazy.
and I met with them, and it was just like, go, go, go. So it's been
They not only emailed you the same week you met with them, but they were also good fits.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, it's just, I mean, come on.
Yeah, like, instantly, I'm like, "I trust you. We're aligned. I hardly know anything about you, like,
Wild.
personally, but I know enough to know, like, this is a good fit." And we're all going to Art and Bloom at Newfields this evening for our, like, first ever team fun outing, and everyone was like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, sounds great. We'll be there. Can't wait." And I'm like,
And let me tell you, listeners, this is the most Bailey thing that could ever happen. Like, I always tell her,
"Mhm,
out of all the people I know in this life, hashtag grateful to be alive, so few have as aligned of, like, I really think as clear of a vision for their life as you. Because at the end of the day, I feel like that's really what it is. Like, you
mhm,
know what you want so clearly and so precisely that, like, you co-create that vision. Like, it's kind of like the hands representing the physical aspect and then the mind representing, like, the cerebral. It's like your hands and your mind are just constantly working together and are so unified in what they want to create that I don't know if it's possible for you to not make what you want happen. Like, you just got such a gift with that. I just,
mhm."
it's remarkable to see. And I love it. I don't know what a word for jealous, but not actually jealous, but, like, just wanting more of that for myself.
Yeah.
How do I do that? But I think that's so cool because I feel like that's just you. You're not that you're not trying, but it comes with ease for you.
Yeah.
And
I'm very
it's
grateful.
dope.
It's
It's
pretty awesome.
it really is. Ever since I've known you, it's just been like that. Like
I feel like I didn't see it that way, and then you've, like, pointed that out, and I'm like, now I can't unsee it, where I'm just like, I don't know.
it just is.
It just is, and it's not like a superpower, it's not really anything I'm doing, I'm just like, "Oh, I opened my email, and these 2 amazing women both emailed me in the same week."
Like,
And a little bit more backstory is, like, I took a job teaching at
oh
Butler,
yeah,
a practicum class for students, and that also just, like, landed in my
great
lap.
fit.
Totally,
Exactly.
absolutely not qualified, but qualified, you know what I mean? Um, but somebody asked me if they could do their internship with me, and I told like, from Butler, and I told her I actually just took a job with Butler, so they don't advise faculty to take on interns, but I had looked into it before I got that answer from the higher ups, the director, and so I had all my ducks in a row, and I was like, "Oh, I actually could take on an intern." Then I forgot about it, started teaching this class, and then those 2 women emailed me, and I was like, "I already got it all set up. I already know I can say yes to this or at least explore it seriously," you know, and but wasn't pursuing it, and it just was like, "Oh, cool, here, she's ready." Boop.
And if that hadn't happened,
Mhm.
you wouldn't have been prepared. Like it was like, oh,
Yeah,
whoopsies. It's like that perfectly prepared
yeah.
you for.
And so I try to take that approach. I don't know if this is the thing, but I'm like, I do know what I want, so getting clear, having clarity, and being in
Yeah.
with desire, but also, like, values, alignment with my family, the lifestyle I want, but also, like, I don't hold back from the what if, like, of hypothesizing. What if I could?
Yeah.
So, for example, I'm in no place to be able to afford to purchase an office building, right? I know that. Trust me. Uh, but there's one that popped up. Yesterday, I went with my friend who's also a realtor, and I was like, I need to go and check it out. So we went and toured the house, and because I don't want to, just because I know logistically and financially
Yeah.
I can afford it, I'm like, I'm being drawn in, and I want to go explore it and be open and
Yeah.
not cut it off prematurely, you know? So
Oof, I gotta chill. I say, yes, Lord, hallelujah.
yeah. Yeah.
Because, wow,
Aw.
am I about to cry? I don't know. Wow, I'm literally, wow. I don't know why that made.
Aw.
But it did. So we're
Woo.
just going with
Yeah.
it. Well, I feel like that was beautiful. Um,
It touched you.
no, I love that because it's like there's the reality of like what
Mhm.
you feel like can happen based on what you have going on, and then there's the reality that at any given point anything could happen, and what you see isn't necessarily what's happening. It's like there's so much behind the scenes,
Yeah.
and there's so many things like those girls, for all you know, your staff, women, um, who knows how long they were researching and like knew that they wanted to reach out to you.
Mhm.
They could have like found your page the day that student asked you whether you could take an intern. Like so much was already happening behind the scenes for them to even know that they liked your stuff enough to reach out to then be on your team. So it's like that was just really encouraging to me that like
Yeah.
there could be things happening that like I don't see, I don't know of.
Mhm.
And maybe other folks listening too who maybe like need something to go their way.
Yeah.
Um and that feels good. That hit me. I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
it's nice to know. Yeah.
I
And
feel
it's
like
nice
it's
hearing the
risky.
birds
It
chirp
is
and the
risky and vulnerable. I think you have to put yourself out there and, like, allow yourself to be hopeful,
yeah.
which is not easy.
That's the thing. I think I just heard my baby, which I told my husband. I was like, just bring her in. Like she needs, I'll just
Luna!
put her on the boot. I've got my breast friend pillow in my yep, there she is screaming. Yeah, so that might happen. So I thought about a couple of vibes I'm trying to carry
Mhm.
throughout this season. Um one being just like focusing on ease,
Mm.
but also focusing on productivity. Like
Mhm.
I feel like I've been pregnant for a full year, which kind of, it's like you get pregnant and then you give birth, and then by the time you recover, it is a full calendar year.
Oh, yeah.
And so I'm just like itching. Well, also my friend made me a fully caffeinated latte and she killed it. Jillian killed it, got an espresso machine. Um, love that. So definitely physiologically shaking, but also internally, I'm just feeling I'm like ready. I'm
Mhm.
like ready to be back in Jadonna mode, like intensity, like making shit happen out of nothing, like just ready. I'm ready. I feel like I have
You're
been,
ready too.
whew, yeah, oh my gosh. But I feel like I've just been in like involuntary hibernation, where you're just doing what you got to do because like you can, finding ways to be creative, finding ways to like step out of my comfort zone where I can, but I really am just like, okay, I'm ready to bet on myself
Mm,
in a way I feel like I haven't done before because I've been so scared of failing. I really want to embody the startup mantra of like fail early, fail fast, because for
mhm.
me, that's typically what is stopping me from excelling,
Yeah.
is like being so scared. Like my friend who I just mentioned, Jillian, we were talking and I was like, yeah, my initial plan when I went to college was to study telecommunication. And she was like, oh, that's what she studied. She's like, oh, why didn't you? And I was like, well, I thought I'd embarrass myself. Like I did. I didn't want to study that because I knew you'd have to be in the forefront and you'd have to like record a lot and do stuff with cameras and like be on which
And
ironic, here I am. But I was like, I don't want to like look stupid in front of people who know how to do that. And so I literally chose a different path so I wouldn't. And
well,
I just do that a lot. And I'm like, we're not doing that anymore.
well,
We're gonna like embarrass ourselves early, like fail or whatever it takes to get to where I need. And yeah, I just feel like I've squandered a handful of opportunities because of not wanting to look silly. And I'm at the point where I'm like, okay, we're beyond that. Just look silly as soon as you can so you can get over it and move along. And that's the
love that.
energy.
Look silly as soon as you can.
Yeah, that's what I need to
Mhm.
feel like I can move forward. So um I also want to take a different look at how I feel about Indiana.
Mm,
I'm not like an Indiana hater. It's the only place I've like grown up and have known,
mhm,
outside of literally one other state. So it's like I want to lean into really enjoying Indiana for all it has to offer. Events, activities, which means I need a raise. But hiking and like being outdoors and just doing what I love that I've only done other places, I want to do here.
mhm,
And so that's going to be a big part when I recover, of just like going on weekend trips again and just being outside for hours again and just like sitting at creeks, just getting my feet dirty, putting my feet in the dirt and just having lunch, having the babies crawl around, just what I haven't done here because I wasn't like really raised like that. Then I went to college and then I was really busy with life for 2 years and I moved.
mhm.
And so I want to be able to do that here to kind of enjoy where I am a little bit more. Um, and then finally, I weighed myself for the first time yesterday. And
This time ever or postpartum or
first time ever. Hashtag weight free. No. For the first time in 10 months.
mhm.
Because I didn't do it my whole pregnancy because I was like, what's the point? Like I don't need that in my life. Every time I'd go to the midwife, I'd just cover my eyes. They're like, it's fine, you don't need to know. Um, but yeah, and I was just like, I'm ready to just be healthier and slowly ease into just a new journey of what that looks like for me
Mhm.
in adulthood. Like, I feel like since I've been what I feel is a fully grown adult, I've like given birth
Yeah.
like twice. And now I'm like, okay, I'm in the same stage, but I'm done with that now.
Mhm,
Hashtag 2 kids and below. And I want to just see what it's like to have more control over the food that I eat and to not be obsessed with sugar and to not have every celebratory moment or frustrated moment be connected with food. Like, I think I've just kind of realized how ingrained
mhm.
that is in me and how I was raised like that. Daniel, too. And so, my husband, too. Um, And so, yeah, trying to reevaluate. So it's a lot of things at one time. So obviously there's a lot of grace there, but it's just some observations I made that as I transition into this season are just on my mind.
Yeah.
And that definitely coincide with having more bodily autonomy
Mm-hmm.
now that, a baby who needs you is out of you and
Yeah.
figuring out what that looks like. So,
I love
yeah,
that.
that's kind of where I'm at.
I feel like the biggest thing for me is I met with an Ayurvedic practitioner. For those of you who don't know what Ayurveda is, it's like 5,000 to 7,000 years old, and it's like holistic Indian approach to health and wellness. And it's not just like what you eat, but also your whole lifestyle. It's hard to explain. Google it, you'll find your answers. Ayurveda. It's but a lot of it is like aligning with the rhythms of the earth, both internally, like what's your internal weather and landscape and climate, and how does outside and the climate that it is where you are affect your own elemental makeup. Anyway, I had a wonderful consultation with an Ayurvedic practitioner, and I'm like leaning into doing that, and it kind of touches on all the things, all the little nooks and crannies of life, which is why I like it so much. It feels like it can touch all in a really, really helpful way and supportive way. And so in the spring, coming out of that, I am also 8 months postpartum, quite a bit ahead of you, but still very much like at the beginning. I feel like second kid was a lot harder, not gonna lie, to recover from. So a minute with you.
Which I love, definitely. It's so fun. Like my friend whose house I came back from, she has a 6-month-old.
Hmm.
You have an 8-month-old. My sister has a 1-year-old, but is also giving birth in like 5 months.
Oh my gosh.
Insane. And same with my sister-in-law. So it's like a lot of people with a lot of young babies. We're all kind of in transitions and trying to figure
Mhm.
new stuff out. And I love it. A lot of my friends finally have like their adult money and are figuring out like how to manage that and how to navigate that well. I know. Uh, and so I was just talking to Daniel earlier about whether he should go to grad school for like his career track. And so it's like we're all just trying to
Uh-huh.
get our ducks in a row, and
Oh,
that feels really encouraging. And the last thing I kind of want to say is I started a Substack, but I've not been kind of consistent. And I finally figured out okay, this is me backtracking. Every time I'm in the shower and I don't listen to a podcast or music, I always come out with like an idea always comes to me every time.
you like right off the
Every
back.
every single time.
Yeah.
And so I was in the shower, whatever, and this came to me, and I was like, wow, I know what to finally do with my This Is Me Trying Substack. I'm gonna just like, instead of writing the super long form content, which I know is what the platform is for, that just doesn't really feel like me. And I think that's why I haven't really done anything because I felt intimidated. I'm just going to tell people these little blurbs, couple sentence blurbs about what I'm trying at that given point. So, like I said, I'm trying Tylenol instead of ibuprofen, like my midwives told me, because with my first kid, it worked to go ibuprofen, Tylenol every 4 to 6 hours. And I decided to course correct.
Uh-huh.
And then another day, like today, I'm trying to discipline my son differently by putting a clear tub out in the hallway and telling him every time he comes out of his room when we tell him he shouldn't during nap time, one of his trains is going to go in. And when he stops coming out, his trains will stop going in. It's a
Oh.
discipline tactic and we'll see how it goes. Like, I'm just going to share with the world these little things that I'm trying whenever I want,
Yeah.
just as like relatable little things to help people remember that like none of us have it all together. We're all just doing these like little drops in the bucket every single day, trying to figure out what we got going on and what life looks like. And I was like, that's it. That's what I want. And that just came to me and I was like, yes. So
Love that.
just encouraging folks, again, back to the mantra I mentioned at the beginning, that come as you are, live like you're trying. I truly feel like that's it for me. Sometimes things will stick and that will be the way. Other times it's just like a shit show of actions that maybe sometimes turn into something more
Yeah.
beautiful. So that's where we're at.
More
And
often than not, it feels like that, but I know.
yeah, sometimes the shit sticks.
Yeah.
You know?
With the shit.
And yeah, I don't know. I can't really take that analogy any further. So anyway, Bailey, thanks so much for joining me today. This was so fun.
Love it.
Oh, it's the first. Oh, okay. First day of spring, 1 month postpartum, first day of Aries season. Like, so many beautiful things are occurring today.
So many beautiful things.
So go Aries. And happy March Madness. My whole family made their brackets. I always
Nice.
create it every year, send out the texts, send out the reminders, and so we're hyped.
Nice.
And yeah. Anything you want to add?
I don't think so. Can I share about an upcoming offer?
Oh, floor is yours.
Great.
The floor is yours. If you know, you know.
I don't know. Let me guess. Traders. No.
Yes.
Oh, wow. I don't even watch that, but I just knew it.
It's because I talk about it so
I know.
much. You just knew.
Okay. So 2 things. You're listening to this on Monday, March 23rd. So this Friday, March 27th, I'm hosting a in-person to Indianapolis workshop called The Rested Mother. And you can bring your kids and come to the Nora Library from 11 to 12:30. It's $30 to cover snacks and art supplies. The mamas are going to sit, craft, connect, reflect, kind of informally, like it's not this big structured event. And then Anna Grace, one of my new team members, employee, she's certified in kids yoga. She's going to lead kids ages 4 through 9 in some yoga. And then there's also going to be like a craft and snack corner for younger kids. So please come hang out if you're in Indianapolis and you have a child of any age. You don't have to bring your kid. You could just be a mother and your kids are grown up. That's fine too. And then the other one is called Creativity and Confidence. So starting April 16th for 4 weeks on Thursdays from 4 to 5 p.m. Again, another in-person to Indianapolis event. A group therapy offering for girls ages 12 to 15. All about building confidence, self-esteem through art, making, nature connection, mindfulness. It's going to be fun. It's going to be therapy, but not feel like therapy. So if your teen is looking for a place to connect and grow in confidence and have some fun, send them my way. I can't wait. So those are my 2
I
things.
love that.
Yeah.
I love that. So legit.
Yeah. It's exciting.
So legit. I will have links for those events
Mhm.
and the podcast notes. And yeah, outside of that, thanks again, Bailey, for being here.
So fun.
And yeah, we'll see you next time.
Thanks for having me.
All right, let's move on. Well, that's a wrap. Folks, thanks for listening to today's episode of Jadonna Live. Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of it. Like I said, if you have comments or questions, reach out at jadonnalive@gmail.com. Outside of that, you can follow me on social media. I have an account. Jadonna Live on TikTok, Jadonna Live on _live on Instagram. I'm just not active. So yeah, do that. Can't wait for the next episode coming out in 2 weeks. It's with my favorite artist, period, but also favorite local artist, Israel. For some reason right now his last name slips my Solomon. Oh my god, Israel Solomon. He's on the pod. Great conversation about his art and his work. And if you've never heard of him, I swear, get on board now because he's gonna be huge. My parents are really into him as well. They say the exact same thing. Get on board now. Israel is already big, but is going to be huge. So in the meantime, take it easy, breathe deeply, and keep doing what you do. I will chat with you next time. Same place, same vibe. Bye.